Let there be peace and love. Welcome to Satsang. What perceives the world are the senses and the mind. What is aware of that is what you are. And what happens that one search to free himself from so-called limited and binding means, is that one thinks his senses and body and mind. So that confusion is due to grasping. What if you just keep quiet, not grasping? And not grasping means not even grasping the expectation that you can grasp what you know next. You just don't grasp. With no expectation, just be where you always are. And you will see that everything else are movements of the mind that you go into and you catch because there is kind of magic there, attraction, hopes of happiness or peace, all that big illusions that one may experience in young age or old age. But that, if it is so, if he sees that there is nothing there which can give real happiness, then he needs help. Where to go? What to do? And in satsang, it's exactly the place, the time and space dedicated to remind oneself, you're right, you are searching because you suffer, because you think you are somebody, you think you are a body-mind. That first confusion has to be questioned. Who am I in reality if I don't glue any knowing about it? And when one goes back to grasp the mind, as soon as it appears, as it is its endless creation, if he has not seen that it's only the grasping which makes him believe the world and himself are real, he will see. He will see the moment he dedicates to go back from where all this can appear. And I say back because one thinks he's separate due to the belief he's somebody. Otherwise, you just stay as you are always are, and start to have this wise knowledge, oh, it's true that whatever is seen is through the senses, the body, the mind, through beliefs only. Let me be freed from that. And as soon as it is seen, if your desire is to be free, it is sudden. Sudden. The confusion goes at once, as actually it never appeared, but we thought so. So all this question of appearing and, I insist, disappearing is just imagination, because never something real appeared and never something real disappeared. Remember this example of the rope and the snake? The snake didn't disappear from the rope. It was never there. And yet it could appear. And as soon as we know, oh, it's the rope, nothing else, we say, oh, it disappears. But the language is itself giving confusion. It never appeared. So like that, are you born? What is born if you say you are born? That is the subject of self-inquiry. So if you are into that subject, if you want to clear up more, please take benefit of this space. Yeah?
I was noticing when I hear the desire for freedom, and somehow I was not connecting with it so much.
Okay.
But when I feel I want truth, then I connect with it so much.
It's the same. You want the truth, or some people will say, I want to realize myself, or I want to see what's reality, or the truth. All this means the same. Okay, good then. Have you that desire? Okay. And what more do you need to clear up?
I was reading Nothing Ever Happened, and Papaji was, not Papaji, but the book was describing the correspondence between Papaji and Raman. And there was something talking about Papaji actually going into these investigations of the self, going into different realms. And he actually was thinking maybe he wouldn't even come back to the body, and he would put notes on the doors so people would know what to do with his body if he didn't come back, like things like that. And then this question, because I've already heard that it's not about any experience. So then Papaji would, I guess, I don't know what and why, but this raised question, and it's like...
It's in the journal, you mean? In his journal? No? In the... okay, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
So the questions arising in him?
In me. The question is, so is he going for the beyond? Like there's still a beyond?
You know what can happen when you have this passion? It would be better if Papaji could reply you. Now I just speak on my guessing and on my own. If you have the passion of this subject, it is uncontrollable. You like to try, so you know it is not expressible. There is a kind of natural movement to try to express the best. And it has always already been expressed the best. So there is no arrogance that you will express the best. It is a natural, probably way to show itself, its passion for itself. Some, in the contrary, they just, as I heard in the history of wise men, they just keep quiet. And some are very passionate, and they try to, they try, but I mean with no intention, just this drive of expression. And they know very well that it's already beautifully expressed. Nothing can be added nor removed. It's a strange phenomenon. It's the same. Speaking 30 years, 40 years, even more, of the same subject, to say actually one sentence, you already are that. Spending many hours in a day, every day, for all those years, could you rationally be understood? It cannot be understandable. And still it is done this way. To read again those scriptures or those beautiful satsang of the past masters, and you know exactly what you will read, and still there is this attraction to read it. Can you explain that? So, what was the question? No, nothing yet. Even Papaji was pushing the new ones, telling, oh, you are young, I'm old man now. Express, you may express better than me. Nobody could so far. And I tell you, even if it is done, it would not be better. It would be just exactly the same, but still it is very beautiful.
I feel very shy to say this, but I really want to say, I feel like frustrating before you 1,000 times wouldn't be able to express my gratitude.
I'm very happy that you found a stop to your desire, to your love for truth. So, I think this gratitude invades every heart which is in satsang. Yes. apart from the Indians, I think it was the Spanish first who came to Papaji and recognized him as a master.
Really?
Apart from the Indians, in the 60s, it was the first, I think, first foreigners were Spanish. Yeah. First devotees from the West.
The book also told of the story of the devotee of Papaji, and I think the description was the devotee was very devotional at the beginning, and somehow later he turned, he became very critical, and
Bad luck.
yes, and
Don't listen to your mind, and then you will not be in that case. Only the mind, you see, he wants to come back with full arrogance. More, he was on the way to surrender, and if he didn't yet surrender fully, more arrogant he will be, because he knows now, oh, there is a direction where my reality is dissolving. So it explains sometimes those cases. So anyway, one has to be vigilant up to the last breath, not to listen to his mind for this purpose. There is a beautiful story in the mystic realm. There was a saint who was a very apparent, ordinary man, and he was walking from one village to another in complete ecstasy, telling, Analhak, I am God, I'm God. And one village was absolutely fed up to see this mad guy that yet they have to also feed, as it is a tradition. And they got annoyed because in their context you cannot utter this sentence. So they started to stone him, one by one. They put a stone on him, and he didn't say anything. He just lay down, kept quiet. But one of them threw a feather, because he knew he was right, but he wanted to be kept unknown, to be one of the others. So he didn't want to hurt him, but he did like others, and he threw a feather, and then he screamed. Then the saint screamed, because the others were innocent. That one knew. So those who turn their back to a master when they don't know and they still search, is the way of thing. One day they will stop at their master. But for those who know, they have been helped by a master and turned then their back. It's another case. You brought your friends? Oh yeah? You brought your friends? No? Ah, thought so. Okay. Hi. If you want to hear something special, please ask. We are not many, it's easy. What's your background? From where you come from? You are in Orange, no? By chance? Or?
By chance. But yeah, part of meditation started with Osho. And
yeah, that's what I say. So. Yeah, nice. And so, what do you want to know that you don't know yet?
Well, it's actually a lot about what you said before. Inquires a lot about how this truth and freedom fall into place within me. Whereas the body or the mind kind of giving up on something.
Yeah.
And why does this have to be so?
If you go there,
This
you will have endless philosophy about this answer, you see. Because if you ask why, it is the gateway of what? Why? The gateway to movement of the mind. You go into your mind. And the mind doesn't like mystery because he wants to own everything, every understanding. But there, to have the answer, he has to surrender. And to surrender the mind, you don't grasp why. And get quiet.
What I'm feeling is there's this rebellion inside.
Sure. I don't expect it.
Just wants to cut the bondage and be, yeah? But then the outside world.
No, don't worry, it's outside because you are still thinking that you are part of this body-mind, you see. but you don't know what happens to disappearance. Maybe it's just the self or what's real, who you really are, but you will then not speak like this inside and outside. The inside and outside are there because the mind cannot conceive differently than in a dual way. In and out, inside, outside, black and white, and so on, you see. As long as you listen to the mind as if it was telling something true, you are caught in its vicious circle. Some answer you may get, some understanding you may get, and some will remain mysterious. Because the mystery is when the mind cannot conceive. Well, he conceives the word mystery. But that's all he can do. Because exactly there, he has to, as I said, to go back with this question. Who has this mind? Who has this question? And keep quiet where the question ends, finishes. And then maybe like that you will see what is mind, in fact. In and out are mind. So, to be free is not to change anything about disappearance, this body-mind, and its own creativity. It is just to remove the confusion, I am body-mind, which brings suffering, not only paradise. It is bound like this, to be like this. That's why, you see, the wise men, they say, stop thinking if you don't want to suffer. In other words, if you want peace and joy, just stop. Don't grasp the movements of the mind, even if and even when they appear and disappear. Don't grasp them, because as soon as you grasp them, it looks that you are real now as somebody. And so the rest is irreal too. And you are caught in that magic. The magic contains good and bad, suffering and pleasure. Magic is not only pleasure. So, what do you like then? What do you want? Did you hear a bit?
I did, yeah.
So the emphasis is on to just be as you already are, but one is deluded by his grasping. So don't think in this way, don't grasp, don't go there. Let it appear, you cannot control that. That is the self-expression anyway. So when this individuality, this sense of I disappears, to whom any question will be valuable? To whom? If anything rises, you tell me. It's a good time, you know. And you too.
What I notice is a distrust of anything I will even say or ask.
Yeah.
Because even as it forms, I can just see it's just a phenomena.
Yes,
grasping.
very good.
So when you invite a question, it's almost like something in me just sinks deeper.
I don't oblige, I suggest for those with questions.
Yeah.
If you are no more troubled by your mind, are you still searching then?
My mind troubles itself.
Okay, and who are you? And then who are you?
I seem to have a space outside of it a lot of the time, and sometimes can just laugh at it, getting busy.
Yeah.
And
but who are you then? Who are you?
that sense of, it's a sense of space.
Okay.
A sense of being.
Okay. Okay. Now, this sense is always there?
It's kind of like a signpost. Sometimes the sense is there and sometimes...
I agree, because it's a very deep experience, you see. It is, let's say, like a kind of background of all the rest, where you go back or which gets obvious. But you see, you said it very well, it's a sense. So who has this experience of it's a sense of space?
It's the mind that's trying to describe something.
I know.
Yeah.
I just want to show you that if you accept any landing, any state of your mind, whatever state it is that you think it's more real, it will always be temporary. Because no state in the mind can ever be permanent. So there is one way to cut off this hypnotism or this belief that one state is more real than another, even the sense of being, I would say, is when it doesn't enter into the grip of somebody. Because who has the sense of being? Let's go to the farthest you could experience. Who has the sense? It must be I. You see, I as an identity in its utmost last corners maybe, but it's still I. And because I as an identity is still there, all his experiences, even the sense of being, will come and go. So you just have to hear this and to just see that you are aware that I sense beingness. And you are not this I, you are what is aware. And that what is aware of sense of I, or sense of beingness, is aware I am confused, is aware of anything in this world. But that awareness is permanent, it's always there. You cannot deny that. You cannot deny that. But you cannot glue to that even the sense of beingness. And then you keep quiet.
So being silent is also a state.
Hello. If you ask the question, it must be. Yes. Because you tell me if it is like this or not, but you enter into silence sometimes, and sometimes it's covered or it's not there. Is it so? This silence you speak about is always there? Is it just here now?
Yes, but the mind tells it's not here.
Ah, but the mind itself said to you it's silence.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a play of the mind. No, I would not also spit on that beautiful experience of silence or sense of being, because it allows you maybe to hear. Listen, maybe it's hard to hear because the mind is arrogant to have found something deep, but it's still the mind, you see. That's why, and in that way you will be very happy to hear this. That's why it comes and goes. It will never be different. So just search from where this can be played upon. That's what you are, which is here now, but you can never make it an experience, not even silence, not even sense of beingness. Because if it is so, then it's an experience, but then you don't confuse yourself for that one. So where are you left now? Don't search in your mind.
No, but it's difficult to answer because
Yeah.
you use the mind to pronounce
I
words.
agree,
and
but
answer.
you could answer to me differently.
Yeah, it's still a sense of silence.
So drop it, don't land there, don't look at it for once. Don't look at it.
So you produce another word, energy. But
No, don't look at it. The mind will endless present you some far out experience. No, infinitely, you see, that is the mind. So if you want to be free, if you want means to realize what's real, not to suffer or confuse yourself for an experience and an experiencer, you just keep quiet. Even when those things appear, they appear. You are not what you can make out. You are not what you can experience or express. And then can you tell that you come and go, that what you are, even if it is beingness comes and goes, can you tell that? No. Who you are it, means it is never objectified. All the rest is a play. Already now, it's playing, even before we are aware of it. It's played itself, it disappears by itself, it is not our concern. It's the self-expression. So you just keep quiet. And when an experience appears, just keep quiet. You didn't attain anything.
You don't bother.
No. Bother for what? You are always yourself. You bother when you want to fix an experience you love more. But then, you see, as I am born, I'm somebody, takes over.
Or it
Pride.
should be different.
Huh?
Or it should be different things that happen. Or it should be different.
What's different?
I say I don't bother.
Yeah.
And then the mind kicks in and it has to be different. But it's
No,
like
this is the illusion, you see. It's the illusion to think that you can control this manifestation. Huh? No.
Just
Keep quiet. Just keep quiet, but of course one has to understand what it means. I don't say state of silence or state of quietness, of course. It's a way to express, just be yourself, just remain in your own, in whatever it is. To allow the confusion to dissolve completely. Of course, the mind has been so used to be listened to that it looks like you again go. Doesn't matter, you cut off as soon as you are aware of it. Stop. And in the end you will see that in fact you never leave yourself.
I'm thinking about what you said before and asking, because there's this longing inside of me to embrace also the body, the senses, the mind in a way. So dropping it away is like abandoning a part of me.
You know,
yeah.
I hear you. It's different search. It's a different demand. Oh, you got enough with your senses and concepts and ideals to try to fulfill them, and you have seen for some reason I come back always to the same feeling of separation. All my embraces with, they never last. For then it makes sense to have this desire to be real, to realize the self. Self, I mean what you really are. For that you have to discard for a split second, senses and concepts, mind. Disregard. Otherwise, you can't realize, you see, who you are. You will always go back to the one you think you are, and then it's always the same. you see. So, for, let's say big words, everlasting peace, it will never be by somebody, the base, embracing what is presented or offered, in or out, you see. Because it is of unreal, impermanent nature. You cannot change that. It's a big illusion to think that this duality, this impermanency, one day, when you have the good trick for it, or the good practice, or the good guide, it will become permanent. It's a total utopia. So, nothing wrong to try what you would like to try. I just tell you that a few have seen and have tried very much, and they broke their head and their heart, because in the end it's a big failure. You are left with hopelessness and helplessness. Then there is one voice more which has not been tried, which is the voice of the wise men. All the wise men from times immemorial till now, they say the same thing. They say, of course, my dear child, this is so. You are still hoping and you are still jumping from suffering to pleasures because you confuse yourself to be I am somebody, I am born. And they will tell you this scandalous thought. Are you ever born? You speak of what? To say you are born? What's your face before your birth? Who am I? You see, they give this direction to finally give the opportunity, a split second of giving up, and then you keep quiet. And then you understand the whole thing. Oh, what a fantasy it was. So I can say that only. Welcome to that. So today, something new? What we will tell? It looks like all what we know is forms and names. I don't think you would say no. All what you know of yourself is form names which give experiences, and you think you are the experiencer or the doer of things. In satsang, you hear something different. This is appearing so, but it's not who you are. This appearance comes from who you are, disappearing who you are. And who you are, you will never know it, but you will know it not through your mind, by just keeping quiet in your own source, in yourself. That's what we will do 1 second here. Close your eyes, don't think, just keep quiet. Try not to grasp the next talk or experience. So there you visit your own place whenever you like. It gives you strength and peace and joy in the life. Very good. Oh. You can go and play. Yeah, and I wanted to tell you the real embrace. How can a poor mind and senses can even imagine what is the embrace of the self? Huh? So don't worry about that.
I once read a prayer that I really like. It's to Ram, saying, Ram, if I can't hold on to you, please hold on to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I find myself often would say that when I feel weak.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's kind of reinforcing the duality or separation.
No.
No.
No. What happens if you allow the self Ram to hold on to you? What happens to you then? Tell me.
I don't know, I just rest.
You just keep quiet. Is there anybody there when you keep quiet? Hmm? Where is the duality when you keep quiet? Hmm? I, Ram, God, you, me. All this is in the realm of the appearance, you see. And when I search for myself, he calls myself Ram, for example, and just then what he has to do in the end, he will understand, yeah, he has just to bow down, I, who praise Ram, his own self, he has just to bow down, I, to its source, from where it could appear. That's Ram.
I have to use words to describe it.
Doesn't. Me too, I do.
It's a sense of this life force that's living me and the phenomena of the world. I think in times in my life I've wanted to be still so I'm not identified with the phenomena of the world. And what I'm noticing in these recent years is more like a flood of love into the phenomena of thoughts and people and things and senses. There seems to be a force that wants to penetrate into the phenomena as well as that. And it seems to be more lively to live into what's around than try and be so quiet and still that I'm just observing it all.
But I don't say that somebody gets still and is just witnessing whatever happens.
Yeah.
You see, that's what I try to convey. I don't speak of a still state. Of course, otherwise you are aloof. Why not to be detached then? It's not this part, you see. It's just to see that whatever is here now, in the appearance, it's already the expression of what is. It's already there, but we think we can transform it and we own it or whatever, so many experiences about that. Because I take myself as a creature of this creation. But it's not about that. It's about to know what creates all that. What is the background where all this can appear and disappear. And that is surely not owned by anybody. It is surely not by somebody having a still state that is approaching an inch of what is real. Because to have a still state, it is still in disappearance. You see? That's what I say. Whenever there is an experience, let it be stillness. Let it be even this life force, this love. Because who can speak about that? It must be still this I. Not the same I as it was in this ordinary life before, probably because of some spiritual journey or whatever you like to call it. He went to different levels of his identity. Yet still, he has not been questioned. And that's why he can express things as you do. You see, otherwise, leave things as they are already there. And don't be, just for a moment, it has not to be in time. For a moment, just take the risk to give it up all and keep quiet. I wonder how you will speak then. And anyway, this is, you can say, sustained by love, energy, whatever, but who cares? Maybe even those words are not correct, you see. But who cares then? It's already done. It didn't need the enlightenment of anybody, because enlightenment is of nobody. Nobody needs to check or to know what it is, in fact. To realize the self is just to be the self. As one is always, anyway, when it doesn't grasp any movement of the mind. And to feel the energy, the love who sustains or penetrates everything, is to follow a movement of the mind which creates somebody. You see, as soon as you can express anything, somebody will be taken for real. Unless you realize from where it comes or your own self, then this will be seen, and then the confusion is gone, radically gone, and yet everything appears the same in its own duality and beauty and whatnot. No? You see, nobody can do anything. It's already done. Or it is in doing infinitely. It is not because of someone. The self expresses itself and makes it disappear as its own beauty, as its own, I don't know what to say. So to realize the self means to remove all ideas, concepts about what has to be there. Even those ideas of bliss and love and supreme knowledge, everything has to go in order that everything is put at its proper place, you see. You cannot keep a single thing to realize yourself. Because then, if you keep a single thing, you keep the identity fed by that thing, which looks like veiling what is. It's very simple, in fact. It looks difficult because one is attached to his mind, or experience of the body, but especially the mind. Is attached to the concept of spirituality that he believes is true. You see? Otherwise, and then don't think that you become like starving ghost on this planet. You see, there is enjoyment without enjoyer. This is ununderstandable, and too it's the fact. So it is worth, otherwise the wise men are not made. They said this is a diamond, you see. It's so valuable, it's priceless. So at some point when we are in despair, having tried so many things, we can't help to trust that. They may be right. Anyway, there is nothing else to try if we come to this point. So this will be tried. Something you like to keep.
Yeah, there's lots of pins holding in place.
But you see them.
Some.
Yeah.
I see enough to know their nature is to keep appearing in a different layer.
You see them. Are you what you see? Are you what you see? No, definitively not. So why don't you keep quiet just in what you are? Is it still so interesting that you want to be lost in what you see? I tell you, maybe it looks like, but again you will be falling into your loneliness and separation.
It's interesting to be in the world.
Don't worry, the world is in you, that you want or not.
That's right.
Where do you want to put it? I've not forget to put the word somewhere.
I knew it when I was born.
What will disappear is not the word. What will disappear is the confusion to think it's real. It appears, it doesn't mean it's real. Like a mirage appears, it doesn't mean the water is real. Same way.
It seems that I have a blind spot on the point of surrendering, of the mind surrendering. Just like the last big thing.
Well, the last
So-
big thing will not be there. It will be that side. I would like to know how you try to surrender. How? Tell me. What do you use as a trick?
I don't think I have a trick.
Ah,
I don't think I have a trick. If
Okay.
you have one, please.
I have one. I am the only one.
Okay. I'm here for that.
Because you see, who wants to surrender? Who?
I don't know if that's... I know what
Just-
you expect me to say, but I actually feel that because surrenderness has happened,
It has already happened?
it happened a few times. Okay, glimpse. But
Glimpse.
Not something that
Glimpse. A glimpse is not it.
Yeah,
A glimpse is
But-
not it. Okay.
for sure. I wouldn't be here if it would be it.
Yeah, right.
So, like my mind is a radio station, okay? It's like a...
No, but listen to me.
Yeah.
I am very happy to hear you had glimpses, okay? But you are here because repetitively you have glimpses and you cannot go farther. You cannot go farther with what you know. That's why you have glimpses only. And don't entertain this idea that doing the same one day it will not be a glimpse. You have glimpses because what you do doesn't work up to the end. You admit that?
Yes, totally.
Okay, so I'm ready to tell you something which removes glimpses. I already told it to you, but it looks so invaluable that you didn't even hear it or didn't even want to hear it. I already told, but you jumped on your story because you don't value that simple direction, which is a diamond. Now I tell you, you come to a jeweler who knows very well the difference between a precious stones and a diamond. Okay? You have precious stones. I can tell you they are only precious stones. Now if you want a diamond, you follow what I say. Yeah? So, who wants to surrender? You answer me. I will follow you.
This false illusion that I call I.
I don't say your knowledge of illusion. It's not illusory now. Otherwise, you would not be in glimpse.
Yes.
I, you have the knowledge, it's an illusion. Forget this knowledge. It doesn't help now.
Okay.
I want to surrender. Okay? Now, who am I? Going to that direction. Now, keep quiet. Don't grasp your mind. Next it appears. like that. Whenever your mind fools you again, go back there. Have you seen the direction? Where are you? Okay, now you know the direction. Now it's up to you to like to realize it. Et voilà, unless you don't want it. Thank you very much.